Okay, so this is not soup specifically. This is just, I guess on the internet, they call it a hack. This is what I do, not in the summer much, but in the fall and winter a lot. I have kids coming and going, different ages and stuff. And so we always have soup and salad jars. Our salad jars are bigger, but our soup jars basically are leftover things that are still beneficial. If we have extra leftovers, it's fine. But they're just, this is sweet potato, onion, and then fish. And because fish is easier to digest, it's one of the easiest things for a high protein to digest. So I usually keep that on hand. Anybody that has family members with ADHD, autism, anything on the spectrum at all, they usually have gut issues. So if I always have something simple to digest, if they're having a rough day or too much stress, then all we do for the easy group is I'll keep some of this on hand, which is just, it's the, oh, my husband got stock. It's supposed to be bone broth. I buy bone broth, my husband brought me stock.
Okay.
But you know, so, and I usually get the Costco one because it's organic. I'm not worried about all the extra stuff in it. And then I keep this too, which is just dry powder. So if everyone is nauseous and sick, I'm not. Sometimes I have bone broth in my freezer, but sometimes I don't. And sometimes just a little bit of salt and ginger and whatever, that's all they can handle.
Right.
And so I have found it's pricey, but it usually lasts me most of the winter, and it helps us get through stuff faster. Yeah.
Where do you get it?
This one I get from Amazon. But
Oh, really?
I like the Naked brand the best. So I tried some different ones. You read it online and it sounds good, and then there is something changed from the original thing. And so this is the one I found that so far that we like the best. This is, my kids don't care if it's beef or chicken or whatever. I just try to keep one that's dry, because the other thing too is if we travel or anything, it might sound strange, but if we travel and when they were younger, then I could just have this in a Ziploc bag. And if they were having a rough night or whatever, it was like nourishing more than tea. I could literally just throw leftovers from the fridge or wherever we were ever at, and actually they could eat something.
That's cool. So does it come in different flavors? Is that chicken?
I saw, I have not found a fish one that I like the flavor of, because most of the flavors I love of fish are Asian, and they usually put other stuff in it to keep it longer that most of our bodies don't do awesome, like in our family anyways, they don't do awesome with. So I don't have any recommendations for fish, but as far as chicken and beef, because it's in my hand, this is the brand I like.
Okay.
And I get it from Amazon.
Cool.
Honestly, my best fish bone broth is my neighbor brings home his fish that day from fishing. When he's done, he'll guts it there, but when he's done filleting them all, he brings me the bones and I just make stock and put it in the freezer. But that's usually my best drop. So all I did is I'm gonna put a little more in here. I told you we're just gonna dump it in. This stove is not mine. Mine, I would have it like a 4. If you had to turn this a little higher and put the lid on. This is my electric kettle. It's already hot. I don't know if anybody has electric kettles.
Yeah.
I did it just because it's easy. And my children have started, especially in the wintertime, they drink a lot more herbal tea. And as teenagers, I'm like, you want to drink herbal tea? Great. You'll have a kettle. Actually, Take and Trade. That's where I got this one from, was Take and Trade.
Great. So Becki, I have a question.
Sure.
Your little jar of instance, the stuff you poured in it, do you prepare it for the week, or do you prepare it, put it in the freezer?
Almost every day
You do it.
there's leftovers.
Oh,
right?
that's
So I set a timer for 15 minutes. I go through my fridge drawers and I put together whatever I can. Sometimes this, sometimes dinner, sometimes lunch, and I just spend 15 minutes to prep whatever I can prep that day. That might sound really dumb, but it's really cut back on anything thrown away. It's cut back on me being stressed, because my kids do dinner most of the time. I do dinner 2 nights a week because they have pre-diabetes in our home, so one of my children has prediabetes, a heart condition, and autism, and gut issues, and asthma. So that's one child. And so because part of the reason we homeschool, to me, it's a necessity that they learn how to take care of themselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and they don't learn those things up at this high schools. And I'm not trying to get off a tangent, but that's really the need. So fish is super fast. As soon as it starts to boil, I would turn it off, take it off, set it on. I probably wouldn't do that for you guys because it's going to be too hot most likely. If you're not sure if the fish is cooked, all you have to do is take one. If it flakes, it's done. Like, that's how fast it is.
So were your sweet potatoes pre-cooked? And that was leftovers?
So, my family doesn't like anything mushy. And so, if they really don't feel good, like everyone's sick, then I shred it. And it's just small, and it doesn't matter. And they can't hardly taste if it's mushy or not because the whole thing is broth with some stuff in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, would anybody want to try it?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do this in the small ones.
Here,
When
I
get
can,
a spoon, I'll just start serving this first, because then we're gonna put the next soup on while I do the tea.
would it help if I served it?
That would be awesome.
Okay.
That would be fun. And you might need a smaller spoon to actually get stuff in there.
Yeah, that might be.
Okay,
I can smell it.
spinach, I'll put in the next one. I just tear it. I just tear it smaller, pop it in at the very end. And so it really just depends on what they eat. I have some kids that eat spinach, some that don't. So if that's what they like. Now I was gonna have you do this one for the fish because they're little, because I don't know how many people will actually do the fish. Compared to the chicken, I'm pretty sure everybody else will eat the chicken more than the fish. Here, Louise. Okay, we're gonna move to teas. So this tea, I do not have any loose blended tea right now because quite frankly, my life can't handle it. I finished making my last batch in the spring. We finished it off about 2 or 3 months ago. I don't have time. I don't grow at all. I usually trade with my girlfriends. That's not my space right now. So when you get the printouts, it actually has to top 10 tea herbs that are super easy to grow in Idaho, and it'll even tell you not just what it is, but basically what you need to do, where is it good to plant it in the shade or a small or a pot or whatever. So that will be on one of the handouts.
That's coming. It's not.
Oh, gotcha.
not in here.
So quick skim reading.
Yes, and so all of my tea stuff didn't print because we had electrical problem, and then we had a printer problem, and then we had a computer problem, and then we had a printer jam. And so in the last 2 days, I was just done. we are done. So this is the ones you have. The big one is the bone broth. Some of you guys have probably made bone broth, some of you haven't, but it kind of explains to you how to make bone broth, why you would eat clear soups when you're sick instead of a heavier soup, a denser soup. It gives you recipes for it, and it gives you some basic ideas. And then these are just straight up recipes, and so it's in that pack, but it's just called healing soup recipes. And it'll talk about, it even explains that in this packet, when you put seaweed in, it's actually great, it has good iodine. You don't want to do it too much, it's not something you want to do every day, unless you have a thyroid issue.
What if we like it?
You can like it, well, a little bit of seaweed.
Okay.
But unless you have a thyroid issue, you usually don't use that much iodine, and it can cause other issues. It's usually in the kidney. But you probably don't eat the amount that the soup would say maybe do it all the time.
That's probably good.
Okay, so,
I have a question.
yes,
In recipe 1, it has apple cider vinegar added to it.
yes.
Is that to help pull collagen from the bone, or?
So it helps pull the collagen, it also helps pull the minerals. So the apple cider vinegar is not a lot, it's like a couple
Right.
tablespoons.
Right.
Basically, there is a lot of minerals in that bone, right? The collagen and the other minerals don't come out of the bone itself. The collagen is mostly in the marrow and in the joint tissue. But the minerals, some of the really good mineral is actually in the bone itself. And so when you put the apple cider vinegar, it's almost like it allows it to leach out easier. Any other questions? Okay, I'm gonna go back to the tea for a second so that you guys can come and get some. This is, so I have not been able to find a big quantity. Like this is my mullein, and this is how I buy it. Mullein grows here, it grows great, but it's tall. And so unless you have a space for it or a giant backyard, it's something you might not, but we use it all the time because it means the people in our family who have asthma don't have to take any form of medicine or medication anymore. And one was on steroids at first before I could figure out what was going on. So as long as we do the mullein and, did I bring my hawthorn? No, I do hawthorn, but hawthorn really is super, you can get here. Hawthorn trees grow all over around here. Like right now I have a bag because I didn't harvest it. So the hawthorn berry is more for the heart. But a lot of times if you have lung issues, there are some heart issues enough that slow down that blood flow. And so if you do both the hawthorn and the mullein, it really helps. And with my son that has both at the same time, this is what he does. He takes it every day, and he's not on steroids. And he has an inhaler and asked, and he even goes and does PE up there, and he's only had to use it. He goes, Mom, I mostly have to use my inhaler if I forget to drink my tea a couple days in a row.
So that's pretty good.
That's great.
So, for the intents and purposes, it works really well for our
That's
family.
fine.
So, mullein helps the lungs, and this is just good old, any kind of immune whatever, and most echinacea grows super easy here. They're just tall, pretty flowers is what they look like. But the echinacea, and there's instructions on the tea thing, what to harvest, how to harvest. There's instructions on
Oh,
there.
yes, thank you.
Thank you.
But if you're just buying something, so you have it on hand, or someone is sick, they do not have anything in here specifically for lungs. They have this is a good immune booster. But a lot of times, if you've got a cold, not always the flu, but if you've got a cold, those lungs are just, so I always put these two together. So that's what this is. So I made this ahead of time. I made it last night, let it sit, and I just heated it so it was warm. Here are cups. There, because of it was pre-diabetes. Both of my kids who were diagnosed with pre-diabetes, A1C and one was diabetes, from 7 up in the 7s down to the 4s and 5s. Just we haven't done anything different. So they do honey sometimes. The main reason we have the honey for the winter is if they get a fever, fevers burn through sugar. Like you just can't give them enough electrolytes and sugar fast enough if you've got a high fever. So then we put the honey in instead of stevia for those kids. But you guys are welcome to come try it. That's what this is, if you want.
So your pot is ready.
Thank you.
All right, what seasonings were in this? Ginger.
So yes, so ginger, garlic,
Chicken.
this, and chicken. I use bone broth, but chicken broth, and that's it. There's nothing else in it.
So no salt.
Ginger could be spicy.
No, so it
It
can
is
be.
spicy.
Yeah. So I have the salt here because if you are lower, my kids have learned, because they're teenagers now. When they were little, I did it for them. I could, you know, oh no, you haven't had enough electrolytes. Here's salt, right? Oh no, I know you have a heart issue, so so my kids who have salt issues, we have a little separate one of these, and it's half salt and half potassium chloride because you usually have a more need for potassium salt than they do just sodium salt. So I do half and half. And so then in the jar, they naturally get it when they salt their food, and I don't have to like measure it out every day.
Nice.
So I forgot to tell you, so I don't put salt in it just because it depends on where they're at. It depends on how much salt they put in it. And for us, that's not spicy. That's like super mild. My husband is like a hot pepper person. So this, for my family, that's a gut. This is a soft gut thing. So if it's spicy for you, I just do less sugar. So here's the other thing I do sometimes. I told you about the spinach. If they don't have enough fat, like if we're doing healthy and it's just in the fridge and we're doing okay, and sometimes though, I have a couple with autism, they'll be like, they've started to understand that the stress level's going up, so they'll eat something easier on their gut. It doesn't mean it's like that they're sick and they need mostly broth. It's mostly just like, Dad's having hot dogs, that ain't happening. I got soup in here, but I know I need more fats and more salt or whatever, so they'll throw, or greens, so they'll throw the spinach on, or our favorite is avocado. So I'm gonna put this here. There's spoons. Because it's a healthy, easy, good fat, and right now if you watch, I mean, I got those for 69 cents a piece.
Those are nice for 69 cents.
Yeah. Riddles.
Nice.
My lemons are nice too. That's where they were. Well, I think they were nice. Okay, so now if we're doing this broth, I do have frozen. My biggest thing about frozen bone broth is I try to make sure it's in a small enough container. Same with this is not totally frozen. I took it out to try to just keep it so viewable because I'm trying to teach you guys. But I just do a smaller, and I'll do more cubes of bone broth, but a smaller size so that it fits in my pot and I don't have to like try to defrost it a lot, because that never seems to happen first. We're either in a rush or someone forgot or I didn't remember, so I just do them smaller and do more quantity if we're gonna do more people than just the one person at a time. I would love to say we all live together as a family. I have 2 teenagers and a 21-year-old at home, so no. This is the more thorough, so what I gave you, that's all outlined. Like I told you, I use my leftover, like whatever's left in the fridge that fits the basic needs. That's how I keep up on my freezer full and my fridge not expiring food. Did you get any?
Oh, I loved it. It was so delicious.
I was just red onion, so I didn't bring, you guys know that on the side of the your grater, there's usually that half circle thing and nobody ever seems to know what to use it for. That's what I use to get those slices in that size.
Oh,
So what was in that fish broth?
So it was not fish broth, it was chicken.
I mean the fish soup. Fish soup.
So the fish soup had red onion slices, sweet potato slices, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of lemon, not much. The lemon I just poured it on today. The fish that I defrosted and threw in the fridge, and then yesterday just cut it up, and
Wow.
that's all it is.
So simple.
and what was it?
Pardon?
The fish?
What kind of fish?
It was tilapia.
Oh.
So I get whatever is wild, inexpensive, on sale, and when it's on sale, I throw it in the freezer and I try to get 2 or 3 of whatever.
Mhm.
So
It's delicious.
So I'm just gonna turn this on high, and as soon as it starts like a high simmer, not, I don't want a rolling boil really, but a really high simmer, then I will put this in. And then it still won't take super long.
And this
This
It's a
is the
concoction.
combination of whatever fits the bill. I do not put potatoes in it ever. I don't ever put potatoes in it. They don't freeze well unless you do it just right. Unless it's sweet potatoes, and it's not worth the headache, in my opinion, to mess with potatoes. Potatoes are also hard as far as starches go, because they're nightshades. They tend to be harder to digest when you don't feel good. And so, because we're talking more about that nourishing space, but my main reason is it's just not worth the headache. So if I have leftover rice sometimes they're like, oh, does it reheat? Well, it reheats on soup just fine, and as far as I'm concerned. So if I have leftover rice, I'll throw it in. The other thing I do is if I don't have rice and my kids want it bulkier, we always have some kind of rice noodle, pad thai, whatever. We always have rice noodles around, because those rice noodles are easier to digest. Sometimes my kids want noodles. I don't care. Break them in half, throw them in, and they heat super fast. So that was the biggest thing for my children. If it doesn't take a lot of work and it's something that can be fast, then I might get my teenage boys to slow down long enough to do it instead of mom. So, is there trash?
Just right to the.
On this other side. Okay, we'll go back here for a second. So what I'm gonna do next is lemon and ginger. This is great if you don't feel good. If you're fine, if you having gut issues, just gut issues, lemon and ginger is always awesome, because lemon's clarifying, ginger is stabilizing. That's the way it's it. It's a little bit warm, but it's not like, it doesn't have to be crazy hot. So I'm gonna make actually 2 different ones, and I'm gonna want you to drink them soon, because I'm gonna need the pot again, or my jars. And the reason why is because the quantity of lemon and ginger that I like is probably not what a lot of other people like. So I'm gonna do 2 different ones, and then you guys can go, ooh, too strong. Ooh, this is great. And then you can kind of see what you like.
That's pretty nifty.
This right here, this is I have an oldest son who likes to cook, but he lives in a studio, so he comes about 2-3 times a month, does his laundry, and either cooks for us or cooks with us, and if I don't have it, he buys it for me. So, like, my new pots and pans, those are my husband's for our Christmas present.
Nice.
So yes. And I asked him, I said, sweetheart, you're saving for, he looked at me, he goes, Mom, you did all this stuff for me, why shouldn't I do it for you? I'm like, okay, never mind, I can't set too much about that. So I like to do it more than one way. I feel like I get more out. So, thank you. We are definitely I don't know what you call this, a canning jar family, because mason jars, yes, because mason jars, different sizes, they fit in the fridge, they reuse, they wash, they're glass, they're way less expensive than the fancy Pyrex, whatever. And if my son, who drops a lot of things and breaks all my lids, which is part of the reason we got pots and pans, breaks one, it's $1 and not 10. So that's my philosophy on mason jars. Okay. So I'm thinking I might not have got enough lemons. Normally I would do a whole lemon for this size. We're gonna, we'll do the mini. We'll do, let's see, what do I do? I'll do less. So this is my, I don't know if you call it a hack, whatever. My children watch some of those things sometimes. This, everybody knows what this is, right?
Straight.
from the dollar store. No, you know what kind of strainer it is? It's a sink strainer, but it's like one of the best things ever. The different, I just don't put it anywhere near my sink. It goes up in a different spot. So, so this has been sitting, and I put a little bit of lemon juice in it because then that way the ginger doesn't turn. I just do it at the same time. And this way, I don't have to steep and re-strain. And I can get my kids to do that. Okay, anybody wants to try it? I will come get some. It's gonna be hot. Let me see if I can, you know what? We'll leave it, we'll let it curl. We'll get the next one. Pardon? What?
Is this the mild version? or
That's the mild version.
Okay, okay.
This is the mild version. So I did that first. This, I should have brought more jars. Sorry. So have anybody ever had this?
Celestial.
It's one of my favorites.
But not Bengal spice.
Okay, so Bengal spice is like the super easy, I don't want to think about what's gonna help support my immune system, or I'm in a spot in the boonies, but I can find this, because you can find it anywhere. It has black pepper, cinnamon, cardamom, a lot of the things that I would say, yes, it'll support your immune system. And I haven't met very many people who don't like it unless they like no spice, like no, they usually don't like cinnamon or don't like that kind of stuff at all. But the black pepper in it helps drive it in, and it's not so strong that you're like gagging, and if you just add more water if it needs to. So if anyone wants to try it, you're welcome to. We'll make some.
Okay, so Becki,
Yes.
Oopsie.
I got this, it's a rolling boil.
Yeah, slightly. Not anymore. It's not.
2 teas.
That was. Sorry, I just made a mess. I made a huge mess.
So the brown tea was the mullein and
That darker tea, kind of like a whatever, yeah, brown, I guess, is mullein and the immune.
oh yes,
So
okay.
mullein and so as far as like teas from the grocery store, this is a good brand. It's more expensive, but as far as like medicinal, it doesn't have garbage in it.
What's the brand?
Yeah.
Traditional medicine.
Traditional medicine. It's been around 30, 40 years, somewhere in
It
there.
rhymes.
Pardon?
It rhymes.
Yeah.
Traditional medicinal.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I remember it.
So, chicken's already been cooked. This was my leftover stuff, right? It's warm, but I just took it totally off the heat. I just took it off. Is there anybody that absolutely hates spinach that won't try it if they have spinach in it? Okay. Okay, who wants the dark tea? Which kind is this one?
I want some of all.
Yeah. So I'm pouring enough for everybody to have a little of all.
Thanks. Well, and there's.
Those are both the same.
There you go, dear.
These, and then you want more?
So these are unsweetened.
There's nothing sweetener. That's why the sweetener's over here on this side. Because
I'm going to taste it without.
that is the mild. I'm sure that's the mild stuff.
Do you want some?
So what is this dark
Not horrible.
Mullein and
Mullein.
immune. You could
Like woolly
find.
mullein?
Pardon?
Like woolly mullein?
I don't know if it's tea that you used to make. I would have to look at my.
Okay.
The other thing is if you want to add herbs to your, like more herbs to your garden, Amazon
Yes,
has
it
some
is, we can see
organic
it.
seeds. If you buy them in a package of what they call their herb seeds, you can
Okay.
get 30 packages of the seeds for $30, just under $30, and they're all non-GMO. Some of them are heirloom. That's how I would go, because $1 a package for herbs is really good, even just the seeds. And so for $30, one goes really far as like Water, you can dehydrate most herbs, most any way you have, but I just use mine to churn. I just use my dryer, or hang them up in my basement, which is pretty dry. It just depends on how much space I have and how much they grow and how fast.
Becki, does the dark tea have anise in it? Tastes like a little licorice.
Probably, because they usually do that kind of stuff. It's probably, I think it's licorice. Yeah, this is actually licorice root. I don't memorize their ingredients. I've read it once or twice and go, is it still good? Okay, yeah. We move on.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Yes. Well, no, not anise. It's just,
Is the one that
it's
Here,
licorice
I'll
root.
try
that.
So, this one has echinacea, cinnamon, licorice, hibiscus. So the hibiscus is for vitamin
I
C.
taste licorice.
Honestly, the hibiscus is for vitamin C. European elderflower, and then this one's a dry fruit concentrate as well as the flower itself, and then more echinacea. So the reason why it has two echinaceas is because one is the flower and the other is the root, and so they have different strengths and a little bit different properties. Any other questions?
Not yet.
I feel like you have something you could teach us. You have anything you want to add? Do you have things that you found that really work for your family?
As I do, I'm really big into canning, so I do a bunch of canning during the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime my husband's grandma, that's her garden. She always asks what's the plant, I'm like, anything I can bottle for
Wait,
later.
these are good sinuses. Oh.
I haven't had it yet, but I believe it.
So you want this one in a bowl?
Yes, we're gonna do the bowls for this.
That is one big healthy chunk of ginger. Where did you find that?
Wanko.
Wow.
Depends on when you buy it, you know,
Yes.
if they got a fresh batch or a
Yep.
dried up batch.
She is correct.
Well, I went to Fred Meyer's to buy some and I couldn't find it. And then finally I found it hanging on the wall in a tiny little package, like,
For $3.
Yeah.
or more.
Or
Yeah.
more for
I
like,
was shocked.
for this much.
That's like $3.98 for a pound.
Yeah, they're behind.
And then I bought it.
This
I was
is
shocked and
huge.
then I bought it.
Mhm.
This is huge.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I wasn't really raised with ginger because I was raised in Alberta, Canada. But when I moved to Grand Junction, oh man, I got introduced to like a whole bunch of hippies and a whole bunch of really cool stuff that they just grew around them. And so I'm like, oh, and when I was in Calgary, I was introduced to it more because we had like the Asian section and the Indian section, and you go in their stores and just like have a heyday and try new things. But I only lived there for 4 years. And I was young. I wasn't married, didn't have kids yet. And so I was going to school and working and only did some of that. We were gonna,
I'll dish it up over there.
that's fun.
Is the avocado for it?
The avocados to put on the top of it, anybody who wants the extra fats and wants it, and then so is these lemons. You just squeeze in top. My kid, we don't
Okay.
always put lemon in it, but we put lemon in it a lot because it's clarifying. So if they like lemon and they want more, then we usually have lemon like that in a bag, and they put it in, wow, all different kinds of stuff. They put it on the rice last night. Well, I said, you are welcome to come get it, should not be embarrassing. Let's see what I can do next. So this really is not like a winter thing specifically, it's just like really good to have. And I finally found a blend that I wasn't making that my kids liked and would drink. So it's turmeric, here's this, no it's not this one. It's turmeric, cinnamon, and ginger. It's actually, quantity-wise, it's turmeric, ginger, and then cinnamon. And I'm gonna make some of that. I figure if I can get my teenage boys to drink it, and all they do is put honey in it, I'm impressed, because it helps with, I usually do 3 to a quart, or 4, we're gonna do 4 tonight. Yes, if you play with it much, it will turn your hands yellow.
So you found this pre-made.
Pre-made. This is the brand that I like on Amazon as far as like bulk. And they do this.
Old smoke?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have, yeah.
Old smoke.
So, most everything they do, if they can, they get it from the United States or they grow it themselves in the States. So, but so for this one's only,
Do you have something to write with tonight?
so there's 50 bags of the mullein, and it's like $13, which as far as pre-done tea bags, that's pretty good. It's for mullein. Like if you go to buy, first of all, it's hard to buy mullein in the store here. If you find just straight mullein in the store, I think it was like 10 bags for like $4 or something, 4 or 5.
Oh no, you're totally fine.
I just owe you, ever since we found how much it really helps with the lungs, we keep it handy for a good year and a half or so, maybe a little longer. I had a friend that had a lot of mullein and shared some with me, and we did that first, and when that ran out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is dumb. So this is what I found.
Oh, you don't have a spoon, let me get you some.
Her hands are getting full.
It hadn't been used, it's just been in another bowl of soup.
Do you want us to take that her cups?
Yeah, I could.
Okay.
Do you want me to have those empty cups?
Okay, no, they're not empty.
Oh, they're not empty, she's working on them.
Oh.
Yeah. I have a spoon.
Yeah, this one is delicious.
You gonna have one?
Very
I
good.
would, if anybody has or wants to get a electric tea kettle, if you don't have, purified water of some kind in your sink or next to your sink, you will need to clean it out like 3 times a week because or close to it, because the hard water
Yeah.
is insane. So we normally only use filtered water in this, and so I'll go home and put vinegar in it tonight, but I just thought I would.
Thank you for putting avocado in mine.
Pardon?
Thank you for putting the avocado in
Wow,
mine.
and everybody probably got some. Did you, were you gonna make any more soup? Is this it?
That's it.
Okay,
Soup is done.
because there's plenty, guys.
Oh, good.
So this one, since we didn't drink all of the not spicy, I'm now making the stronger version.
Okay.
I'm gonna put sugar in it now.
Does anybody need to have stevia, or would you guys want honey in it?
I'm good.
Honey's good?
Mhm.
Okay. My kids did not like stevia at first, but I was like, you're putting too much in it. It literally takes
Doesn't
drops.
take much, yeah.
So what happens is if you even put 2 or 3 drops too much, then it goes bitter, and that's when you don't like it. At least that's my experience anyways.
Very good.
Is this chicken right here?
Yes,
The soup is very good, Becky.
thank you.
This would be good to can.
It feels like it's nourishing and healing.
And what? Heavier?
And healing.
And healing.
So there's more soup and more tea,
Yes,
so
please come try it.
please come try it.
Cool. Where is it? Avocado. Does anyone have questions? Or ideas? Anything you do different?
Man, that concoction that you have in your freezer, that would be nice to have. Seriously,
Yes.
you could make instant soup just like that.
So, I told you to do smaller. I do have, you saw that was like a gallon that was just like squished on itself, because then I know it will fit into my pot. But then that will feed, this usually feeds me, my daughter, and my boys for lunch. It will not feed my husband.
Really?
he works all day and then eats all at one time and he doesn't love soup. But I have 2 teenage boys that inhale food, but if you looked at them, nobody would believe me. No. And they don't eat a lot at breakfast. They usually drink their herbal tea and have a homemade protein bar at like 6:30 in the morning, and then about noon we'll do something, whatever. Honestly, my kids call me the leftover queen because of, as a homeschooler, we're like, what needs to be used? And depending on what it is, it'll go in a pot or in a pan. We got home, it just turns on quick. Because they go to public school for extracurricular, what do you call it, electives now in the morning, and then we just do school in the afternoon, as far as together.
So is there a list of what you actually had in that bag?
Pardon?
Is there a list of what you actually had in that frozen bag?
Not there, but I can.
Yeah, I
Do you want me to tell it to you again so you can take a note?
Uh-huh.
Because when I told you that it's more of a method, it really is. It's never the same because it's really what I have on hand in my freezer, in my fridge, that I know will freeze well, and then we add extra things that's fresh that could be used. But when you're not feeling good, that base makes life so much better. Or even if you're feeling fine, but everybody else is not doing good, or it's a crazy time and the stress level goes up, so that just that calming of the warmth and the nourishing, the extra herbs in it, just kind of helps settle that nervous system. So you're like, ooh, let's just pull some of that out, and it's an easy dinner. That's what we can do tonight, and we don't feel overstressed to try to produce anything. At least that's what I found for me. Let's see. Sweet potato are the small little cubes. A little bit of red onion, because and a little, there was also, some of you might have had pearl onion, because I told you it's leftover from my fridge. So I just thought I would teach you how I do it. And then the ginger, I just have ginger on hand, not all the time, but a lot. I actually have ginger on hand more in the winter than I do in the summer, just because it's so clarifying. And I was a nanny for a chef in Canada, and he had traveled the world being a chef, and so he always, when he did chicken soup, always had ginger in it. And I came back here and I went, where's the ginger in the chicken? So that might sound strange. I just thought it was normal, but that's how my kids have grown up. And then I've learned, and we add lemon to it too, because it's purifying, but it doesn't have to be like overpowering.
And you just grated the ginger yourself?
Yeah. So there's 2 ways to grate ginger. You can do the bigger one, but when you saw what I did for this, which I can do more, is I use the, what do you call that?
Microplane?
Nope.
Food processor?
Do by hand. I just use the zesting side on your box grater. So sometimes I've done other ways. I know that they have fancy stuff for ginger. I have people that need special things, and our kitchens are little.
Yes,
Almost
they
not
are.
here, but most of our kitchens are really little. So I try to keep my things that unless I use them all the time, I don't have something else. So do you know what I mean? Like, so this is gonna be the leftover ginger of the one. And yes, this is how I do mine. And I have one daughter that likes ginger, the other one loves it. And then I have sons that are the same. So that's part of the reason we do this. I'm gonna do it however straight you want. Oh, I don't know I forgot to do that. I don't know how many of you brew herbal tea, but when I'm not trying to do 10 things at once, I usually do this, and the reason why we let it off to cool it, but usually I put this on because any of the essential oils that would go into the tea are gonna come up in the steam. So I try to steep anything with a lid. It's part of the reason I use canning jars, but it's not necessary. If my kids put them in a mug or whatever, they just put a plate on it, or honestly, whatever's close that's not dirty.
That works.
like off the bottom of something dirty. I have a 15 and 17-year-old. I'm just happy they're even thinking about taking care of their body a little bit and not eating hot dogs and hamburgers all the time. Thank you. I looked at that 3 times. Kept talking.
Do you ever reuse your ginger?
Do I
Like,
what?
you're using it now, can you use it again?
So the bottom one I didn't take out. So I'll show you what I do for the strong one. And I usually only use it once, and I'll show you why in a second, because you'll get it. Oops. I am getting in a hurry sometimes. So usually what I do is I pour it all the way to the top, and then I put that little jar lid on it, and then I let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes, and by that time, it's pretty done. So I don't usually reuse it if it steeps inside the liquid.
Okay,
I just, at one point I was making this a lot, and I was constantly like feeling like a streaming fool, so this way you do it and it's done. And if I don't want to, I just dump it out and make another one, put it in the fridge, which I do sometimes in the summertime, then we're done. Thank you for being with me.
for sous chef.
Yes, that's much better. Okay. I don't know if that was hot enough. That was not hot enough. I think I filled it and didn't redo it. But you
That's what
should,
microwaves
you'll
are for.
you'll still feel it, you'll taste a difference. But I did not put honey in it. So I love doing these things. I think I'm pretty good at them. I'm not the best demonstrator or teacher. I get more excited than I get even.
You've done great.
We've all been there.
Thank you. Just if you care. I don't have anything else except for cleaning up, because we've got that, and Mom was in it.
Did we finish that list? There was
No.
only sweet potatoes, red onion, pearl onion, ginger.
Rice, leftover
Rice.
rice. Chicken. So the chicken, one of the chickens was in with the rice, and the other chicken was raw chicken that I cooked up to put in it.
Fair.
There was 2 different kinds of chicken, because we did a Greek chicken, the other Greek chicken and rice dish the other night my son did, and he did about a week ago. That chicken had a ton of seasoning on it, but the other chicken I didn't put anything on it. I just threw it in a pan with it. So I figured it would like
And then you
it
put
out.
spinach. So what are the seasonings? I'm seeing.
Oh, celery. There's celery in it. And no, this chicken stock, salt.
Carrots.
There would have been some salt in it. Not that I added it separate, but because some of it was leftovers, there would have been salt in it.
Okay.
Basil, but not because I added it, because there was basil in the rice and the chicken.
Yeah, but I like the flavor.
Yeah.
That was very good.
I told you about my employer who is a chef. That's the biggest thing he taught me, is how to learn how to blend flavors that taste good together. So it's not so much about like a specific recipe, but what do you have and what would match with that. And the other thing he taught me that I knew how to do a little bit, but he really taught me is if you can make a good sauce, you can fix almost anything. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if something's not awesome or there's not enough of it or whatever, find sauce. So you can like add something and then add the sauce and can make it cohesive or, yeah. I'd say that.
Someday maybe you'll teach us sauces.
Sure. Sure, I can even, if you guys want to, we can teach you sauces that are standard, but we can also learn how to do like tapioca-based sauces and stuff like that, because they don't freeze great, but they work really good for other things. Because that might sound strange, but there's a lot of people that can and can't do different things. So if you can do 4 or 5 different styles of sauce, you can also just use whatever you have on hand and don't have to go to the store, which is awesome. Okay. You should just come up and try. I think we're done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please come have some more.
It's delicious, Becki.